are in your leadership journey so far. Are you an aspiring leader? Have you just started your business and you're kind of interested in getting into leadership and wondering like, what could this do for me? Where could this lead me? Like the what if questions. I remember when I very first started my own leadership journey, I remember saying, like, I remember specifically going, I actually went to I actually sponsored someone kind of on a fluke situation, went to her lunch party and realized on the drive home that it was the easiest money that I had ever made. And not only easy, but so much fun. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, like A, I could do that too. And B, like this is what it means to be a leader. And this is the opportunity in front of me. Like, I just remember that moment where I was like, oh, I want this, right? And I remember saying to my husband, I think I was about 4 or 5 months out from going back on mat leave, back from my 3rd consecutive mat leave, and saying to my husband, like, what if I could sponsor 3 people before I could go back? I went back. What if I had a team of 3 by the time I went back? Lo and behold, we all like know how this can kind of like, it's like that steamroller effect, right? I believe I had a team of about 12 to 15 by the time I went back to work. They weren't all frontliners, but like if you lead and you build in such a way that you inspire others to lead and build, and we're going to talk about that today, then you will find that not only are you going to experience your own growth, but you are going to experience exponential growth with the women that you bring into your organization. And do I believe that there are certain ways to bring the right kind of women? Yeah, absolutely. I also believe that everybody has different goals and everybody's allowed to have different goals inside of this industry, and that we should always honor those goals, and that leaders are really here to present the opportunities, to inspire other women to see the opportunities. And at the end of this training, I'm actually going to tell you all about a brand new mastermind experience that I have going. You guys have been asking me for another mastermind for quite a while. I took a little bit of time off in the summer from the mastermind experience, but I know that this is the time to go back in. But I have created a new mastermind program that I think you are going to absolutely love. It kind of couples group coaching with learning behind the scenes with some of my best courses, on top of actually getting one-on-one support to working with me, which, if I don't toot my own horn, can really be that defining piece inside of a mastermind program to really bring everything full circle. And if you haven't already realized, this is the time of year to go all in on your business. This is the time of the year where you get to, I mean, you can reach for more any old time of the year, but like that shelf of more is that little bit lower right now and a little bit easier to attain. So let's like make this decision, like wherever you are in your leadership journey today, I want you to decide what you want out of this, right? If you're sitting with 4 people on your team, do you want that to 10 times itself by Christmas and be 40? Would you like it to triple itself and be 12? Like, I think in this whole grand scheme of manifesting our dreams and showing up for our dreams, we actually have to own our dreams, right? We have to say them out loud. We have to tell other people. We have to own that we have these dreams and we desire these dreams. And that was the biggest missing piece in the puzzle inside of my journey in the beginning, was that I kept them all hidden. I kept them all below the surface for fear of failure, right? Like I was just like, I don't want to tell anybody, or I was just like, oh, I'm not even sure if I want this. But I think that was all me playing safe, right? Keeping myself small by playing safe. I was telling myself, oh, maybe maybe if this happens, you know what? As soon as I stepped up to the plate, as soon as I owned what I desired to build, it all started to fall into place. All of the dots started to connect with one another, and I achieved even more than I could have dreamed of in such a short period of time. You can literally change your business in weeks, right? You can do anything you want to do. You just have to reach for it. And that's exactly why I am developing this mastermind program, because not only do I want you to reach for it, but I want you to have that support to get you there that much quicker and faster. And it's funny because one of my very first mentors said to me, she was like, yeah, you can do it alone, but do you want to dig to China with a spoon, or do you want to dig to China with like one of those big machines that are like, and goes right down to the ground, right? She was like, what do you want to dig to China with? And I was like, yeah, I want to dig to China with a machine. And sure enough, like she helped me exponentially grow my business. And that's what I am here to help you guys do today, right? So anyways, let's first dig into my 5 best tips for stepping into leadership. Make no bones about it, you guys, stepping into leadership is a very intentional job that you have to do. You need to decide the leader that you kind of leader that you want to be, the kind of qualities that you want to show up with, how you want to lead. Right? And there's a lot of leaders that happen by chance. In fact, I think I was a leader in a lot of ways that happened by chance. But when I started to refine what I was doing and come up with an actual plan, because I didn't have anyone in front of me showing me how to do it, I did, but it just, anyways, I had to create something on my own and something that was uniquely me. And it's one of the pieces of my business that I am most proud of is the way that I built my team and the way that I built my business around my team. So that is your tip number 1, is to work your own business first. Put your business at the forefront. Lead by example. And it's so interesting, and this happened to me, and hands up if this has ever happened to you, is that becoming a leader can be really, really overwhelming, especially when it happens quickly. It can be all consuming. We can often feel like we're not doing enough for our teams. Like we can often have an inbox that is full of 63,000 messages and we're answering all the questions and we're doing all the things for other people. And our own businesses can fall to the wayside. But what I have realized to be true is that I can never, or also we decide to lean back from our own personal business and lean into leadership because we like that side a little bit better. I get it. I love the leadership side better too, right? So much so that I started my own coaching business so that I could lead and have more impact. But at the end of the day, my team was only going to be as healthy as my personal business. The one person that I could depend on to put the paycheck in my pocket was me. And truthfully, I gained more and was able to share more with my team by leading with my own personal business, by trying new things, by being creative, by getting training myself, right? Getting support, getting leadership myself, seeking that out, taking programs, investing in myself so that I could then pass that on to my team. I actually took a mastermind so that I could start running masterminds with my own team. So I could start figuring out what that might look like on the inside for my team. And so that's my number 1 business tip. When you start to grow a team, you start to lead in this industry, is to lead with your own personal business. And then this next piece of the puzzle really does grow upon that, where you want to share what you're doing and lead from the front. What I believe lead from the front means is that you start with your own personal business and then you simply share what you're doing that's working, and you inspire everybody else to follow, to take what they love, to make it their own. But absolutely, you are like, this is me doing my thing, and here's me taking you with me. The best kind of leadership that you can ever have is the kind of leader that sets an example, that inspires everybody else, that sets the pace for her team, that shows other people, other women on your team, other men on your team, everybody in the industry, what is possible. You will defy all odds, and no one will be able to because there's so many times I would have these moments with my team where they would reach out and they'd be frustrated or they would need ideas for something, and they want to brainstorm and they want support on something. And you know what the best thing I was able to offer them? My personal experience. It's also what I offer inside of my mastermind programs, right? Inside of my coaching containers. The best thing that I have to offer is my own personal experience. And that is successes, but it's also failures. It's triumphs. It's learning moments. It's all of the things that I've tried that have succeeded. And it's all the things that I have tried that have failed, right? So that I can say, yeah, I've been through something like that too. This is how I tackled it. This is how I overcame it. And let's work together to brainstorm some ideas for you. So number 1, lead with your personal business. And number 2, share what you're doing and lead from the front. Be an example of what is possible for your team. They're going to look at you and they're going to think, yeah, I want that. I want to do what she's doing. Number 2, For those of you that have taken that step into leadership and you feel overwhelmed, number 2 is to build some rock solid boundaries for yourself. And boundaries are something that I think that we need in life and we need in business. And boundaries is actually something that we will probably go into depth inside of the mastermind, because they're all going to be unique for every single person that needs to develop these. But for me, these boundaries included things like when I would check my messages, how often I would check in with my team, the kinds of questions that I was there to answer, and the kind of the ways in which I could actually empower other people to find the answers themselves. So I learned very early on in my leadership journey that if you continuously give all of the answers, serve all of the answers up on a silver platter, that you will make yourself the resource for people to come to. There was a time in my business where I couldn't get anything done, where I felt like I was drowning because all I was doing was solving everybody else's problems, putting everybody else's fires out. And while I'm the kind of leader that's there to help you level up, to help you solve problems that are not like easy problems to solve, and to help you brainstorm and help you grow in your business, I don't necessarily need to be the one point of contact for all of the things that people can get on their own, right? And so boundaries are realizing that. And I think as women, we can be people pleasers at our core, right? We can want everybody to like us. We can want everybody to succeed so much that we suffocate ourselves, that we drown ourselves in trying to like lift everybody else up. So boundaries are a really important piece of leadership, and something that often we put to the backside before we're ready. The truth is, I want you to build now for the team that you're going to have later. Right? And this goes for all aspects of this training. This goes for all aspects of your leadership. We don't wait until we get to a certain point in leadership to start doing the things that we want, that we believe leaders do to build their businesses. We start doing them now. We build for the team that we are going to have, not the team that we have today. So I did this really, really early on in my business, right? And partly because I believed that that's where I wanted to go, but also partly because it wasn't offered anywhere in kind of my upline, etc. before. And it was like a lot of strategies that I wanted to try out. So I started running opportunity events. I started running these training events for my team. I started doing all of these things for the team that I knew I would have one day, so that I could set those systems and habits in place now when it was easier, that would allow like me to scale to anywhere I wanted to go. And that is point number 4, systems to scale your business. You show up as the leader you desire to be, and you set the systems now so that you aren't having to go back later and set them later. It's so much easier to set them up now. And systems can be things like the kinds of events that you're going to run with your team, the way that you want your leaders to interact with one another, the environment and the culture that you want your team page to have, the way that you're going to share resources through your team page in the guide section or whatever. There are so many different systems that I'm talking about when I'm looking at this. And yes, we will dig into them inside of the mastermind. But these are the kinds of systems that we are often telling ourselves, when I get to this level, then I will start doing this. What if starting to do that now actually closes the gap from when you will get to that level? And I think that's often what it's about, right? It's like, who is that higher level self that I'm reaching for? How can I step into her shoes right now? How can I start emulating who she is, how she shows up, the things that she does? Because what that does is it closes that gap between who you are now and who you are growing into being. Because that next level self, that's just us. That's us at a higher level. That you desire to be, she's already inside of you. You just need to take the steps to start becoming her. Right? And the simple fact that you desire these things for yourself means they are an opportunity for you. It means they are an inevitability for you if you keep moving forward. So number 1, you lead with your personal business. Number 2, you share what you're doing and you lead from the front as a way to inspire and motivate and teach and coach your team. Number 3, healthy boundaries inside of your business. And number 4, systems that scale your business. You want to set these in place now. And number 5, the very last piece of the puzzle, and one of the things that I think has really been that defining piece inside of my journey, is to surround yourself with like-minded women that raise you up. that give you energy, that feel like best friends. And I know, can you control that? Yeah, you can. Your vibe will set the tone for your team, right? The culture that you create now will be the culture that your team grows up understanding and knowing and being a part of. I believe that is like the one thing that people don't expect to get out of network marketing, but it is the almost that biggest piece that all of a sudden people are like, yeah, this is the thing that I stay for. This is the thing that means the most to me. This is the thing that changes everything. This is the thing that I never knew existed. A community of like-minded women that have your back. So I want you to surround yourself with them when you are building your team. I want you to welcome women onto your team that believe in the same things as you and that have, similar goals. I don't think that, again, I don't think that we get to decide what anybody else's goals are. I don't even think that it matters to me. I think that, everybody often is searching for their leaders, right? And they only want people that are leaders. I kind of believe that I want everybody on my team, right? I want the people that only want to sell $300 a month, and I want the people that want to sell $300,000 a month. I want all of them. I think they all have a piece in that community. And the truth is, success in network marketing is a lot of people doing a very little bit, because if people drop off here and there, you're not stressed, right? If there's any leaders in the house that have lost a big seller from their team, there can be that moment of now what am I going to do? Well, I want you to support yourself by bringing more people, more energy, and just allowing everybody else to show up for themselves in the way that they desire to. Your job as the leader is to stand in the front and lead the way, to shine your light so that other people can see the way to come, right? Imagine you're in a cave, and the way that you work your business is essentially the flashlight that is lighting the path for everybody who comes behind you. That's what you're there for as a leader. That's what you're there to do. You set some boundaries so that you can protect the life that you're building, but you set systems in place that will allow you to scale to whatever you desire to in this business. And those are my 5 best tips for stepping into leadership. And my hope for all of you is that you see what is possible, and that you see what is possible inside of yourself, and that this training has evoked a fire inside of you to say, yes, please, this is what I want. This is what I'm here for. And this is the more that I'm going to reach for. And lastly, leader, the mastermind. I'm calling it leader, little line, the mastermind, because this is going to be the mastermind for network marketing leaders. I have never, ever done a mastermind before for leaders. I've done masterminds for women at any single level inside of their network marketing journey. And absolutely some leaders have found themselves into those masterminds, but this is specifically for the woman looking to rise in her leadership, for the woman looking to link arms. Yes, Megan, this is exactly what you're in already. For the women looking to link arms with other women, to be on this journey with them, to be on this journey with me, to learn from me, to be coached by me, to be mentored by me, to be part of a community where every single person wants more, is working on building these boundaries, is working on building these systems, is working on reaching that more. This mastermind is for the woman who is motivated, who is goal-oriented, who is fired up, who is excited about what they can do inside their business. And it doesn't matter to me whether you have a team of 5 or you have a team of 500 or you have a team of 5,000. All I truly care about is where you want to go inside of this business, because we're going to work on boundaries. We're going to work on systems. We're going to work on ways to level up your own personal business so that you can shine your flashlight for the rest of your team to follow. We're going to work on ways to build your team. The women that come into this mastermind, they are going to experience exponential growth. It is going to be whether they want, what are those things that are a bulldozer? Let's just say a bulldozer. We're going to be digging to China with a bulldozer rather than a spoon. The women that come into this mastermind are going to set that intention for growth. This is going to be the mastermind to be in. And here's how it's going to work, and here's how it's different. It is going to be only available to 10 women. And it is going to go month by month. So there's two different ways that you can sign up. You can sign up to go month by month, which is going to be $444. Inside of that $444, you get bi-weekly calls. You get access to my entire suite of network marketing courses. That's massive. That is thousands of dollars of learning at your fingertips. You are going to get access to one-on-one Monday through Friday mentoring with me. That in and of itself is thousands of dollars in value. And you're going to get in a community where you can link arms with these other women. So you'll get to know them through the calls, you'll get to know them through the community. And what I love about the masterminds that I always run is the women come out of the other side of it with friends, with women that inspire them, with connections that they'll have for life, with things that change your life. It is the connections, you guys, that change our lives. It is what we can learn from one another that will change our businesses. The other option inside that mastermind is to sign up for a full 6 months. And inside of that 6 months, you'll actually save an entire month. So it's like paying for 5 and you'll get 6. I know there'll be women that drop into that container as well because they want to make that commitment to themselves and to their businesses. So $444 for a month, $1,665 for 6 months. There are only 9 spaces available now, and they will go quickly. And then after that, what I will do is create a wait list. The wait list will open up for runway members first, and then it will open up for all of the rest of the women inside of my community. All right, you guys, and it'll be a first come, first serve, even when the wait list. I picture this container as being waitlisted almost immediately. And what I love about it is you can stay for a month or you can stay for 10 years. You could stay as long as you're getting value. So if you're like, Lori, I want to come in and get everything that I can get out of it for 1 month and see what it's like, see what I can do that. Whatever you feel activated by, whatever you feel empowered by. If you want to make that full 6-month intention, which is what typically my mastermind programs have been, you do that too. You do you. Always. You decide what you want in this lifetime. You decide what you want to in your business, and let me be the bulldozer that gets you the growth you desire. Let me be the bulldozer that gets you to China that much quicker, right? Together we can do incredible, powerful things inside of your business. You guys, I'm available for any questions whatsoever. If you know you want one of these spots to be yours, send me a message. I'll hook you up with all of the details, answer any of your questions, and we will go from there. The very first call is next week. We will get you set up on Voxer right away for that one-on-one mentoring, and we will go from there. Love you guys.